you have these opportunities in life where, like, I feel like you're not going to always have them. For a lot of people, it's like traveling. Like, you're not always going to be able to travel, so you need to travel now. You know, maybe just starting a company, and that's kind of what it was for me. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to have this opportunity where I have kind of a video that's doing well, that I can start kind of devoting more of my time into developing a channel and trying to make that work for me. And with that mindset, I'm like, okay, well, I have some money saved up. Rent's super cheap. I was living with 8 guys.
In Utah still?
Yeah, in Utah. And I'm like, rent's cheap. Let's just, live off of what I can. I think I had merch at the time, and I think that's what I lived off of for a good, 6 months, was just merch.
Was there one thing that really helped you? Because a lot of people ask me, how do I switch to doing this full time?
I think my buddy we were talking about this, about how it's like sweat equity. Like, you're putting your own sweat and your own time into your own thing, so later it'll be worth more money. Kind of like if you bought a house and like you use your own sweat and stuff to make the house better, you'd be just making profit off your sweat equity. I don't care if like this is what I have to do the rest of my life, like get paint balloons in my face and eyeball, if this is like something that I can do or make a career out of.
Would you say you have been able to get closer or accomplish that? It is what you do now, right?
Right, it is what I do. I'm doing, we've been doing it, both of us have been doing it full time, right, for about a year now.
Yeah, we were saying there's that 1 year mark. It's kind of nice. It's like, okay. Because it's like, first it's like a month, right? You're like, oh, cool, it's working for this month. And then 2 months, and then 3 months, and 6 months.
You're like, how long is this going to last? Is this going to die next week? Right now, for me, the biggest thing that makes me think I can do this is actually Patreon.
Really?
Yeah, because
that's so interesting.
Right, because it's my most steady income. Having people like believe in my stuff directly, and like have this more of a steady income than like maybe I have one good video that has a sponsor, or like one good video with good monetization, or one product. For me right now, that's what it is, and I wonder. I bet it will change. Like, I don't know, but like just right now, that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's my most steady income.
I think that there's better ways to monetize than ads.
I do too.
I think, like, I hate that when people say I can't monetize my videos yet or whatever.
Right.
Or like, you know how there's a restriction?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, nobody's stopping you from monetizing just because you don't have AdSense.
Right.
I don't think AdSense should be. People are gonna hate on me for this.
I'm
not like against the
so
small creator, but AdSense should not be your top monetization anyway. Because if it is, that means you're
missing out somewhere else.
You're missing out
maybe
on a lot.
Merch or even like, what's really cool is I feel like a lot of like big companies and brands are looking for smaller businesses to sponsor, because it's a more like targeted market. Like, it's a small audience, or not audience, small. So like if they want to reach someone specific, there's these small brands that have just that specific audience.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool thing that like allows a small brand. That's what's helped me. I had some sponsors early on because I think they were looking for just people, who liked
it's real people
embroidering, because that one video that did well,
Yeah.
So they like looked and they're like, we want these people who are making patches, and most of his followers or his subs are just patch, like people who follow him for the patch or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. Yeah, I think you're right on the money. Like, the AdSense shouldn't be your biggest money maker.
Yeah.
So
and the only way would be if you're getting like millions and millions and millions of views, and at that point there's better things that you could be doing.
Oh yeah.
What could you give advice for someone who wants to get a sponsor? Because you work with a lot of sponsors, I'd say. You've gotten a few sponsors.
Yeah, I've gotten a handful.
Like Squarespace and whatnot.
Yeah, I've gotten a handful. I think almost all of my sponsors have been where they reach out to me. I haven't had quite as much luck reaching out to people and trying to get sponsors, but I also haven't done so much reaching. Like, I haven't really asked a whole lot of different brands for sponsorship. And so with that, I mean, I'm probably missing out on a lot of stuff thinking about it, like I'm probably missing out on a lot of opportunity of having sponsors.
But even that, I feel like you could just take into your own hands eventually. Like, the show could be sponsored by your brand.
Right.
Be like, go to blah-blah-blah.com and shop cool clothes.
Which I feel like that is kind of how like those bigger, only person I can think of right now is like Logan Paul.
Yeah,
how much
their merch.
Yeah, their merch. They just they just spit their merch so much. That's like everything. I'm like, okay, but it makes sense. I mean, if we have these companies or brands that are willing to sponsor, you should probably be willing to sponsor yourself, right?
Yeah.